Alright guys, time for another comic review, and this is another book that was, another indie book that was sent to me by my good friend, Chris, aka the Mount Vernon Kid. Chris, thank you again for this book. And today we're going to be talking about American Dreams. So, American Dreams is a book by Daniel Calbane. Calvin? I don't know how to pronounce the last name, but I am friends with the guy on social media, so it is cool to see his work being done and have it as a physical issue. So for the first, this is basically the first 5 issues with a few backup stories collected in this trade. So you may be asking, what is American Dreams? Like, what exactly is American Dreams and what's it about? So American Dreams is basically a comic set in 1900 New York. And essentially what it is a what if Superman showed up in the 1900s? That's the question we basically ask ourselves in this comic is, what if Superman showed up in the 1900s and was a Jewish immigrant? So yes, this basically follows the story of a young man named Jake Gold, who is a Jewish immigrant who came here from Europe and is now growing up with his family. And during a street brawl with a rival gang, he gets hit by a force of energy that was opened by an energy door opened by Thomas Edison. No, I'm not making that up. And that was commissioned by J.P. Morgan. Not making this up. And is given powers by a being known as the Spirit of America, and essentially is given superpowers from the Spirit of America. So imagine Superman mixed with the other DC superhero Uncle Sam. Like that's what we're kind of shooting for here. Is that kind of story where because basically why I say Uncle Sam is because the superhero Jake becomes, his powers are tied to the American spirit. So as long as they believe in the American dream, then he has power, and he has great power. But if they stop believing in the American dream, it weakens him. So it's very much, like I said, it's very much like an Uncle Sam kind of story as well. But however, there are other beings that also get powers from the multiverse of America. I wish I was making this up. And essentially, he has to battle them. Some are given powers from Tesla, and others are given powers by Cthulhu. Others... It's a whole thing. Like, it's really a whole thing, and that's the only way I could describe it. It's a whole-ass thing. So, I enjoyed this book. Basically, it does show what it was like being an immigrant in 1900s, and also trying to have, things like, a union, or basic human rights, and also basic workmen's rights. Because if you thought, that today was bad, and trust me, today's working class has it pretty bad. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, speaking as one of those. It was so much worse in the 1900s era. We are literally less than 30 years away from the Great Depression. Not even that. 20 years. We are 20 years from the Great Depression. If you were Jewish, Irish, black, anyone who was considered an immigrant, you were a second-class citizen, and it was even worse when you were a woman. So, yeah, it was not a good time. It was not a good time, and it really does show that. American Dream is a interesting story arc. It's a very well put together book, and it does have a lot of great Superman-esque imagery. And I will say the Rogues Gallery is pretty fun too. I also enjoy that it kind of enjoys this 1920s, this 19 eras era kind of level of absurdity, and also has a little fun with its Rogues Gallery. You've got guys who are connected to H.P. Lovecraft monsters. You've got guys who are connected to anarchy and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun, and I really do like the story of it and the heart of it, in that it really is a cool superhero snapshot of that era and time. So I really do enjoy that. Yeah. Chris sent me this book, but if you want to pick it up for yourself, you can get it online. It's about $30. I say that because I can see it's a big old $30, big old 30 right there. This collects issues 1 through 5 and bonus stories, and it's from Atlas Studios. So yeah, all in all, it's a pretty good book. I did enjoy like the aspect of it, and I'm getting really much into these 1920s, 1900s period piece stories. I've been really like on a kick lately after playing a game called Mafia. After playing a game called Mafia. I've been kind of on a little bit of a kick on a 1920s, or should I say, early 20th century kick. As of late, so this was a nice way to get that fix going. And again, it does kind of show of like, yeah, things were bad then, bad now, and things were worse then. So let's try to keep guys like J.P. Morgan and other forces from holding us down. Anyway, there's enough of that. But you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of, if you've read it, what did you guys think of American Dreams? And once again, Chris, thank you so much for this book. Can't wait for the big haul. It was supposed to be the February haul, but I guess things happened, which is all good. But yeah, can't wait for the big haul, which will live stream the unboxing for that. So stay tuned for whenever Chris sends that package to me. But other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.